5G on here for many, many, many years before it even arrived was right. And there were people who thought that it was wrong and it's not doing anything. And this is what I mean. You gotta give credit where credit. If you underestimate these entities, these sorcerers, right, you will become worse off, because they are still wise, unfortunately, and they know that it is better for you to. This is part of the humiliation ritual again. It's the magic of humiliation again, right? It's better for them, for you to perceive that they are stupid, or they don't know what they're doing, or they are not even doing what they're saying they're doing. It's better for them, for you to think that, than it is for you to know that the truth of what's actually happening, right? It's better for them to do that, because that way then you won't do anything about it to protect yourself. So that's why the negative charge, even right now in cities, yeah, that negative magnetism charge is going to aid you as we continue, because that frequency that they are working with, they can turn that up and down, and they already do turn that up and down, and they were turning up and down. And that's why when they came up immediately in 2020, when the new cycle came into play, the new 10-year cycle came in at 2020. And even when you go all the way back to, so we talk about Tartaria and stuff like that, golden age period, you know, Kali Yuga, differences in cycles and stuff like that, the bodies are still here. The physicality, whilst we're in this physicality like this evil tendency within humanity, within the beings that are here, will always remain here whilst we are in this particular state where we are polarized in terms of our sex. When that alters, then that is when the reality inside of here alters. When woman no longer would require man in order to produce another body for a soul to come into. So even attachment to that, boom, again, once we leave here, the emotional attachment is what keeps us here. But this echoing of the mission almost that the immortal is on once it drops into the construct plays out through these evil spirits in matter when they start to take away the material things that you required in order for them to bring about something else. They're going to use that to say, look, you want your material things back, so you will have this, and you will say yes, you will take it, because you worship that. You are feeding off, like drugs, like taking crack or something, right? You're feeding off that active force, that energy that this is the expression of the active force energy that you get from the matter, the material. Like when people are in a relationship, sometimes as though that you're restricted, and it's not just you see everything's stemming from, you know, the spirit planes, isn't it? So what's happening is the beings are they're spiritually restricted by you know, overbearing association with matter, right? And they are restricted there now. So then you are also before that spiritually restricted, because what is spirit? If we take away this matter, right, you will see what spirit really is. And it is not this new age version of spirituality that has been rammed down our throats ever since we got here, right? It's like the dynamics between of the active and passive with man and woman. A man is taught that he's supposed to bow down to a woman and satisfy every single need. What the woman does, and I'm actually going into another video now. What the woman does is she kills his passive wisdom. She takes that and abuses it, right? Because and the system, they themselves, they mirror to you what they want you to. They mirror a trap. They mirror a way for you to be, which will create a response that will weaken and lessen the man when he initiates that mode of operation. So with the spirit, if we take away this material, the love of the material, right, then you actively buy into this emotion of, oh, the material, gotta have it, this need for, right? If we take that away, then you will have no choice but to operate and move towards the spirit. Which is why when people go to prisons, they immediately start buying into the first bit of spirituality they can find, which is some organized religion, which is obviously then, which is another entrapment, stemming from the same, leads you back to the same entity again, right? But that's what happens, right? Because of spirit. So if spirit equals freedom, right? Overbearing spirit creates overbearing desire for freedom, right? So this is what happens. So this unrestricted way of being, so they restrict, they know that they are beings here restricted, spiritually restricted, because they're overbearingly encased in matter, which then the ball and chain. That's why they spray in the sky, like I say, is because to stop any of the frequencies that are coming in that create this the lighter frequencies that are starting to come in. About Portugal, it states in England. You can probably go on AI yourself and ask it. It is UK cursed in comparison to Portugal, somewhere like Portugal, places like that. And it'll just blatantly tell you everything that we say on here. It is these places. They are egregore, right? Whoever is on that land, whoever is in that space, has to carry the burden of the debt that must be paid back. So this is why I say to souls passionately, you must look to exit the cities. You must be motivated towards exiting the cities. Here, nothing much happens here in terms of mass murders and mass and all that sort of stuff, right? But you see it happening in all these other places, France, all these places. It doesn't really happen there, right? So what they did is they turned off the electricity. The test for what? The videos we was doing several years ago now, we was talking about the new monetary systems. We talk about these new monetary systems that are coming in. Some people thought it was crypto was going to be this thing that they were going to use, and we're trying to educate people to let you know that it's not that. It's this central bank digital currency along with the digital ID and the digital prison that they're creating, which we was talking about in 2023, 2022, which is now going to be here, even in Europe in October, going forward, right? So they ran the test. Now, if you're in cities in those countries, the test has been run now, and it's 2025, and you can feel, as we said, that in 2021, we said that in 2025, from 2025, this is when the wolf will reveal itself from 2025 onwards, which is what is happening to us. It's nothing to boast about or be excited about, because ideally we don't really want it to happen to us, but it is happening to us, and it will happen that way, right? So this is why we have to learn to let go of the matter, because this echoing effect that happens to the immortal once we leave this place, once we leave here, the emotional attachment is what keeps us here. But this echoing of the mission almost that the immortal is on once it drops in what's happening in the UK. I'm doing it because it's a part of this movie. America, the US, the UK, what they do there, the financial wing and the military wing and all of that jazz, what they do is going to have a bearing on how things unfold as we go forward, right? So it says the UK sits on a knife edge of timelines right now. A Mad Max scenario, total breakdown, scarcity, chaos, lawlessness is possible. But it's not destiny. It's a timeline being pushed, right? Not a fate etched in stone, but it's a timeline that's being pushed, right? Now, let's break out of the fact that it is now actively ran away from you now. It is gone. Where has it gone? Where has it gone to? You are attached to it. So you have to learn to let go of all things. You can love without and still let go. And by doing so, this is when you are able to access real strength and real courage. And I say that because this is not the real reality. And the real reality, the beings there, strength and courage, and all of these virtuous acts and virtuous modes of operation are a natural byproduct of who we are. It's just natural to us. Beings some to speak here, right? Because he'd been here thousands and thousands of years ago, and because of that, we have a connection with outside of here that enables us to tune into it, just like that, and then